Lok Sabha, 2009 to 2014, 7 out of the 10 bills were sent to the committees for scrutiny. In the 17th Lok Sabha, 2019 to 2024, only 2 out of the 10 bills were sent for scrutiny. And now, in this Lok Sabha, only 1 out of 10 bills are sent for scrutiny. In 17th Lok Sabha, 9 out of 10 bills introduced in Parliament were marked by 0 or incomplete consultations. In 17th Lok Sabha, a total of 221 bills were passed. More than 1/3 were hurried through with less than a 60-minute discussion, sir.
Topic. Speak on the topic.
In the last 8 years, sir, I'm speaking, sir, let me speak. In the last 8 years, not a single notice by a member of the opposition has been accepted for discussion under Rule 267 of Rajya
That will
Sabha.
not go on the record. That will not go. बिल के अलावा जो भी चीज बोलेंगे रिकॉर्ड पे नहीं जाएगा. Please.
The larger
Speak
concern
on the
here,
bill.
sir, the larger
Speak on the
concern
bill.
here is of
जो
legislative
बिल पर बोलेंगे
competence.
वही रिकॉर्ड पे
The
होगा.
union and concurrent lists under the 7th schedule of the Constitution do not include entries related to disaster management. While introducing the bill in Lok Sabha last year, the Honorable Minister of
Please take
State
your
for
seat,
Home
please.
Affairs stated that the bill is derived from entry 23 of the concurrent list. Entry 23 pertains to social security, pertains to social insurance, pertains to employment and unemployment. Disaster management does not fall under the ambit of this entry. Where does the government derive the authority to enact this legislation? Secondly, sir, nearly 2 decades have passed since the enactment of the Disaster Management Act. Yet, this bill fails to incorporate lessons learned from its implementation. Let me give you, sir, 2 examples to prove my point. Number 1, the Disaster Management Act establishes several authorities at union, state and district levels. The amendment bill seeks to provide statutory status to pre-existing organizations such as the National Crisis Management Committee and a high-level committee. Additionally, multiple corporations would come under the jurisdiction of the UDMA, Urban Disaster Management Authority, instead of the District Disaster Management Authority, DDMA. Now, sir, a major concern of the Disaster Management Act has been the excessive centralization, especially on matter of funds. Severity of the disaster is not a criteria for prompt disbursal of funds. The bill also fails to mention this. Our past experience has shown that you cannot strengthen authorities without necessary financial devolution. States are constantly left at the mercy of the union government. Let me explain, sir. After Cyclone Bulbul in 2019-20, the Bengal government requested close to rupees 7,500 crores from the NDRF. We received only 13% of the requested funds. I repeat, sir, we demanded 7,500 crores, only 13% of the requested funds were received. Then came Cyclone Amphan, sir, 354 people died, 24,000 livestock lost, and over 5.6 lakh houses were damaged. We only got 6% of the funds we demanded. Only 6%. And for Cyclone Yash, where 18 of our 23 districts, I repeat, sir, in Yash, 18 of our 23 districts were severely affected. Not a single rupee was disbursed by the NDRF. In the Honorable Finance Minister's budget speech last year, assistance measures were announced for Sikkim, for Bihar, for Assam, for Himachal Pradesh, and for Uttarakhand. We are genuinely happy, sir, for those states. But why is West Bengal left out again and again? Sir, the northern part of Bengal, including Jalpaiguri, including Alipurduar, including Darjeeling, including Kalimpong, face some of the worst floods every year. Transboundary water from Bhutan flooding the areas. Now what is happening in the northern part, according to the CAG, West Bengal suffered average annual damages worth almost rupees 8,800 crores between 13 and 17. This was much higher than the All India average of the last 60 years. I repeat, sir, much higher than the All India average of the last 60 years. Yet, the union government withheld funds and ignored the people of West Bengal. Let me say this on record. This trend of withholding funds to non-NDA states is a violation of our constitutional principles. You cannot combat Mamata Banerjee politically. You cannot combat Abhishek Banerjee politically. You go on depriving the people of our state. You are punishing our state. You are punishing the other states where you cannot win politically. You are choking the people simply because they did not vote for you. This is betrayal. On top of that, not a single rupee has been sanctioned for the Ghatal master plan, putting the lives of 17 lakh of over 17 lakh of our people in Paschim and Purva Medinipur districts at serious risk. Despite the union government turning its back on the people of West Bengal, the state government under the leadership of Mamata Banerjee has already completed 19-kilometer reconstruction of river bank using its own resources. Now, sir, I will come to some very important points. Since 2009, the Bengal government has received only 7% of the requested funds for disaster relief. I repeat, sir, we have received only 7% of the requested funds for disaster relief. The expenditure for central sector schemes includes funds for relief and rehabilitation, freedom fighters' pensions, disasters management. A decrease has been in the tune of 40%, sir, last year. In 2022, 25 lakh people were displaced due to climate-induced disasters. Aid that was provided for Cyclone Vas, I have mentioned it was a big zero. This is a calculated decision to penalize the states run by non-BJP parties. The disaster management bill, which you are bringing to Parliament, is also anti-federal. Our party wants this bill to be examined by a parliamentary committee. Don't rush it like the farm bill. This is a request from us. Now, sir, in West Bengal, floods were triggered by the release of water from various reservoirs of the Damodar Valley Corporation without prior intimation to our state government. Sir, these floods, which are happening due to the release of waters of DVC, are completely man-made floods. These are man-made floods where our people are submerged in water. Now, these are man-made floods, sir, and why did the union government not engage in dredging and deseling? The West Bengal state government and our disaster management department has enough infrastructure to manage rainfall. We have the Damodar Valley Corporation was set up as the first multi-purpose river valley project of independent India. The floods in 2024 last year, I personally have the experience to be in a number of districts in Malda. Our MP Mausam Noor, she hails from Malda. I have been to the other parts where these devastating floods have been there. In 2024, we have the worst flood caused by the DVC's release of water since 2009. Around 5 million people, sir, I repeat, 5 million people across 1,000 square kilometers were affected. This happened just before our biggest festival of Durga Puja. Even during Durga Puja, there were areas in Malda which was completely submerged underwater. Now, sir, why were you trying to drown the people of Bengal? We want to ask through you, sir. Why were you trying to drown the people of Bengal? Why did the union government unilaterally release such huge volumes of water without consulting the state government concerned? This is not cooperative federalism, sir. It is clear that when disasters strike, creating multiple authorities will only make coordination harder. This will delay response efforts and ultimately put people at risk. What's baffling is that these provisions go against the very purpose of the bill. So this bill, that's why we are telling on behalf of our party, All India Trinamool Congress, that this bill must be sent to the Committee on Home Affairs for a thorough scrutiny. Now, our Honorable Chief Minister, Mamata Banerjee, wrote letters to the Honorable Prime Minister in the month of September 20 and September 22nd, 2024. Honorable Chief Minister of Bengal, Mamata Banerjee, wrote 2 letters to Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji on the flood situation in the state, pointing out that all critical decisions to release water were made unilaterally by the representatives of the Central Water Commission, CWC, without arriving at a consensus. This was these letters that our Chief Minister wrote to the Prime Minister in a span of 2 days was regarding the release of water from the reservoirs controlled by the Damodar Valley Corporation for inundation of large areas in South Bengal. Sir, through you, I will urge the government that what is the condition? All critical decisions are made unilaterally by representatives of the Central Water Commission, Ministry of Jal Shakti, Government of India, without arriving at a consensus. Sometimes water releases take place even without any notice to the state government, and the requests and views of the state governments of West Bengal are completely ignored. Sir, at times the peak releases from the reservoirs of DVC lasting for a prolonged period of 9 hours are conducted with only 3.5 hours notice. I repeat, sir, you are releasing water for 9 hours. Only 3.5 hours notice we are getting, which proves insufficient for effective disaster management. Now, sir, I want to mention here the Bengal Delta is a densely populated region vulnerable to natural disasters, faces escalating climate calamities including tidal inundation, rising sea levels and increased cyclonic activity, potentially displacing millions by 2050. This is the latest reports that are arriving throughout the globe. Now, historically, the Bengal Delta, also known as the Ganges-Brahmaputra Delta, has been a region prone to natural calamities, particularly cyclones, severe thunderstorms and floods due to its low-lying, flood-prone nature and location, a typical location in the Bay of Bengal. The Bengal Delta is a vast low-lying area where the Ganges and the Brahmaputra river flows into the Bay of Bengal, making it a highly vulnerable region to natural disasters. The Delta's river systems, including the Ganges, the Brahmaputra, the Padma, the Meghna, all are prone to flooding, especially they are flowing into the Bay of Bengal, especially during monsoon season. They are prone to flooding, leading to significant disruption of damage. Now, sir, I will go to the pages of history, because why this Bengal Delta is the most vulnerable one. It was the Governor General of Bengal, the then Governor General of Bengal, Charles Canning, who desired to form a port in his own name. He was living, but he desired to have a city, have a port in his own name. He named that city Canning on the Matla River. His name was Charles Canning. The port was named as Port Canning. Now, he did not listen to anybody. He said Port Canning will become an alternative to Singapore. His name will always be there. Sir, what happened? There was a person who had served, an Englishman, who has served in the Caribbean for long. His name was James Piddington. James Piddington has served in the Caribbean as an English merchant navy officer. He was staying in Calcutta, sir. He wrote a series of letters to the Governor General Charles Canning. He urged Canning saying that this Delta river system, including this Ganges, this Delta has a history of devastating natural disasters, including the Hooghly River cyclone of 1737, he mentioned, which is considered one of the deadliest natural disasters in history. He said, don't create this city, don't create this port in your own name. Charles Canning did not listen to it, and in 1867, a disastrous cyclone made that port city of Canning into a bleached skeleton. You need to listen to history. You need to listen to what the people who understand they say. Now, sir, when we discuss this, sir, our state, we are in a state of Bengal. An amount of 1.7 lakh crore is still due to our state under various...
Speak on the subject. Speak on the subject.
No, I'm on the subject. I'm on the subject, sir. I'm on the subject, sir. Let me finish, sir. 7,000 crore depriving 59 lakh workers of NREGA are there. The Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana is depriving us. I will now come back to my first point. Let me remind the Union government that back in 2005, when the Disaster Management Bill was introduced in this House, it was referred to the Committee on Home Affairs. The committee took the time to gather comments from state and union territories, visit disaster-affected areas, and study existing disaster laws across states. Now we have an amendment bill coming after nearly 2 decades, and in the backdrop of multiple severe disasters. This bill does not reflect the challenges we have. Sir, I crave your indulgence. Half a minute. This bill does not reflect the challenges we have faced and the lessons we have learned over the last decades. Legislations are meant to serve the people, and this house must not let the people of this country down. On behalf of my
Thank you.
party, the All
Thank
India
you.
Trinamool Congress, I
Thank
demand
you.
that this bill be sent to the Committee on Home Affairs
you.
for a detailed and thorough scrutiny.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
বলেছে কি না স্যার জ্বলেছে কি না স্যার ওই পোকা বোরার দিয়ে কিছু হয়েছে কি না স্যার অ্যাকশন টেসার বয়লো বোর্ড হলো ফায়ার রিটার্ডেন্ট বয়লিং ওয়াটার আর বোরার টার্মাইট প্রো অ্যাকশন টেসার বয়লো বোর্ড সবার সেরা সব থেকে শক্তিশালী
নতুন বছরে সাফল্যের চাবিকাঠি চান?
সেরা জ্যোতিষের শিরোপা ইন্ডিয়ান আইকন অ্যাওয়ার্ড 2024 আর গোল্ড মেডেল প্রাপ্ত অ্যাস্ট্রোলজার আর বাস্তু কনসালটেন্ট চিন্ময় শাস্ত্রীর কাছে আজই যান।
কালার থেরাপি, নামের বানান সংশোধন সহ সঠিক মানে গ্রহরত্ন দিয়ে ভাগ্য পরিবর্তন করুন।
কল 9609604638 অথবা ভিজিট বেঙ্গল অম্বুজা সিটি সেন্টার দুর্গাপুর।
DSMS, a premier management college in Durgapur. Admission open for hotel management, hospital management, tourism management, BBA, BCA and nursing. Excellent training and placement assistance. Join now. DSMS, gateway to success.